Namaskar. Welcome to Awakening with Brahma Kumaris and Going Beyond. Welcome, sister.
Om Shanti.
There's a small little story I'd like to share. It's called The Fable of the Porcupine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very common story on the internet, but still, it's very interesting. It said it was the coldest winter ever. Many animals died because of the cold. The porcupines, realizing the situation, decided to group together to keep warm. This way, they covered and protected themselves, but the quills of each one, the quills of each one wounded their closest companions. After a while, they decided to distance themselves one from the other, and they began to die alone and frozen. So they had to make a choice: either accept the quills of their companions or disappear from the earth. Wisely, they decided to go back to being together. They learned to live with the little wounds caused by the close relationship with their companions in order to receive the warmth that came from the others. This way, they were able to survive. Somebody has written from their perspective a couple of lines of moral. And he says, moral of the story, the best relationship is not the one that brings together perfect people, but when each individual learns to live with imperfections of others and can admire the other person's good qualities.
How beautiful. Isn't this wonderful? Because many times we become like the porcupine who decides, I can't be with people. I don't want to work with this person. I can't live in this relationship because it hurts. And so then we choose to move away from the relationship. This is also a sanskar, choosing to move away. Yes, sometimes a relationship can be very, very challenging, but the magnitude of when to decide when to move away, we need to think carefully, because otherwise it can become my habit. A little hurt, little discomfort, and instead of putting in effort to make it work, I'd rather choose the other option in which says, move away.
Correct.
Move away from this friend, move away from this job, and then many times move away from this husband or wife. And that's why we can see the effect of that moving away today in society. When we see divorce rates going high, people preferring to live together but not getting married. People don't want to have families, they want to just live in nuclear families, no joint families. People are choosing to move away. So while you were saying those porcupines just chose to move away, and I could just see how most of us are choosing to move away and live alone because we thought that's more comfortable. But then, okay, we could live alone, and when we lived alone, the wounds were lesser. But like the porcupine, we just shrunk inside. Because relationships are very important, unless I am into relationships, I wouldn't even have an opportunity to express love, peace and happiness. And unless I express, I don't experience. Like we saw last time, what you give, so you get. But unless I have someone to give, I don't get. And because I don't get while giving, I will shrink like this. So this is not a very good choice to make, to move away from people.
But why do we forget that even I am a porcupine, even I poke others?
Very beautiful. That's the most important
Even
thing.
I have the same thing,
Yes,
what you have.
yes,
Both are porcupines.
yes.
And if we want warmth from each other, we have to live together.
And that's why
and closer.
the moral was so beautiful, that let's learn to accept that we are not perfect people, but we are imperfect people, accepting the differences. Even when we say perfect, imperfect, it's actually not so much about
Relative.
perfect, imperfect.
That's again relative.
Yeah, but the fact that
Who can say that this is imperfection, perfection?
absolutely. It's just that you are imperfect according to my perception, which just means you're different from me, or you're different from my perception of what I think you should be. You know, all of us carry perceptions of how the other person should be, and the other person is different from my perception. A child could be different from what a parent perceives a child should be. A husband could be different from what a wife perceives he should be. And so the last line was so beautiful. Let's accept the differences, and then it'll be very easy to live with each other. But those wounds that come, we experience so much pain that we choose the other option of moving away. And now, in the case of the porcupines, they didn't have a choice regarding the wounds because they were external wounds. But in our case, we have a choice because in the field of interaction, stimulus is there. But we are choosing to create the wounds.
And also the porcupines who have those poking things, we are creating those.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we were not born with those pokey things.
Right.
Whatever you call them. Yeah.
The spikes.
Yeah.
And then we are using those spikes to hurt ourselves. And like you said so beautifully, we just need to remember that we are also responsible for the hurt that other people are experiencing. This thought can help me to see the picture in a bigger perspective. I'm always seeing my hurt. I'm always seeing what I am experiencing because of other people. Let's just look back and remember one thing. Was anyone ever hurt because of me? And we'll find a whole list of people who felt insulted because of me, who felt offended. You know, while we were seeing insulted is because of something someone has said about me, we can also be offended because someone said something about my country, or about my caste, or about my family, or my achievements. So that's another kind of hurt. I'm very offended. Then sometimes we feel very let down because something that I expected from somebody else, they did not live up to it. And then we say, you let me down. And another kind of hurt is when we feel very betrayed because something we shared with somebody else and they went and shared it with the world. Something that we thought we could trust and they did not live up to that. Something that we thought, you know, somebody promised us they would do this and they didn't. So we say, you betrayed me. So different magnitude of hurt, feeling insulted, betrayed, let down and offended.
So all these things, the list of things you were telling about, it leads to suicide.
If we don't work on our hurt and heal ourselves, then it could lead to depression.
So many.
It could lead to nervous breakdown, and it could lead to suicide because it just depends how much it's paining. See, suicide just means that I cannot live with this pain anymore, and so I choose to leave this costume. The only thing that the soul forgets is I can leave the costume, but I will not leave the pain here. And so suicide is not the option.
The pain is carried forward?
Absolutely. Because the pain is here. It's just that we feel that if I just leave and I die now, I won't have to experience this pain.
So this experience, I can take it that if I leave this home and go away and live separately, the same thing, like leaving this costume.
Absolutely.
I can say even if I leave,
yes.
If I don't leave it here in my mind, I'll do the same, I'll have the same pain even there.
Absolutely.
So that's not the solution.
That's not the solution.
Evading, running away.
Escaping. Why that's not the solution? Because my sanskar goes with me. Let's say I have the sanskar of feeling insulted. Then if I'm in interaction with you at work here and things that you say, and I create this feeling that I'm insulted, and then I say, I cannot work with you. I just don't want to work longer with you because you insult me. So, and when you insult me, I'm hurt. But I don't like hurt, so I say, I will not work with you. So with my same sanskar, I go, but then I have to be with someone. I will work with someone, live with someone, have some friends. Stimulus will still come. It can come in a different way, from a different person. My sanskar hasn't changed, I will still feel insulted. And then I say, you insulted me, I can't live with you. And move on and on and on. There's no end.
How many times will you have a divorce? How many times will you resign?
Resign from
How
work.
many homes will you leave? If your basic sanskar
Yes.
is of hurt,
It's
then
going
you
to
can be
happen
hurt even when you're
everywhere.
alone.
Absolutely. And if there's nothing happening in the present, you can just press the rewind button, go into the past, pick up something that happened before and create hurt, because it's my sanskar to create hurt. So this is very important. I create the hurt. So let's say sometimes we are in a very challenging relationship. We just can't be with that person. Even if somebody makes this decision, even to move away. You know, like sometimes couples feel they just can't be together anymore. Somebody you can't work with, you say, I can't be with you anymore. Even if someone is thinking of moving away, one, that's not a very good option. Move away from your sanskar instead of moving away from the person. But if you have made this decision or you've already moved away, now at least take that time to change the sanskar so that your next interaction doesn't create the same pain all over again. Because sometimes people say, my past is just not leaving me. It keeps coming again and again. I'm feeling the same thing again and again. And then they say, the universe is bringing the same thing to me again and again. Because we thought it's coming from here.
Outside.
The universe is bringing different stimulus again and again. But the emotion created is the same again and again, because I am creating the emotion through my sanskar.
But that also makes sense, because till you finally, erase that sanskar or replace that, you'll always find such situations.
No.
No. Why?
No.
I'll tell you. I'll
Why?
tell you why.
Because it's
I'll
very
tell you why.
important, huh?
I'll tell you. You will find, but the moment you change, you don't even see. No, you don't even see such situations.
Actually,
they don't matter to you.
Situations don't have anything in them. They're just different scenes, and we see them through the filter of our sanskar. But because our filter is the same, you know, the camera you're using here, the lens, the filter setting, now situations could change.
Okay,
The lens is the same.
choose to see
them.
those situations in
No,
through my eyes.
not I choose to see those situations. I choose to see the situation through those lenses. Never the blame on the situation. Situations are different. My lens is the same. I
My
only have
perspective,
my
my way of
perspective. My
looking.
perspective is through my sanskar. When I change the sanskar, situation appears different to me. It's very important to take complete power, that complete responsibility is mine. It's not the situation. Otherwise, even if we say, okay, it's my sanskar, but still similar situations. It is the situations which are coming to me again and again. Every place I work, the boss seems to be very dominating.
I'm so unlucky that I always find such bosses.
Yes, my destiny, my fate.
I don't know whoever I love,
Yes.
he cheats me.
Wherever I go, I get rejected. Wherever I go, I get cheated. It's not wherever I go and whoever I meet. It's just that when I shifted from one job to the next, from one friend to the next, from one neighborhood to the next, I didn't shift my sanskar. So the experience will be the same. And I say, wherever I go, I meet the same kind of people. It's not the same.
Because I am the same kind of person.
I actually meet the person here first. Every relationship is here first. So when I change the lens here, everything will change. So when I start understanding that this hurt is getting created by me, now I'll see different ways on how I can start working on myself. Like we saw, take responsibility, that this is my creation. Second, aware that happiness is my choice. Third, very important, why am I getting hurt? Stop and ask myself, why am I getting hurt? Because I'm attached to an image of how people should be with me. I'm attached to an image of how people should speak to me.
Not only be with me and speak to me, to each other or to their own spouse. And how
Very
dare you
nice.
speak to your wife like this?
Here it is.
How dare you speak to a woman like this?
Because we have already created all the images of how everything and everyone should be. and not just created the image, we are attached to that image. And once anyone does something which is not according to that image, I feel they have hurt me because something pricked that image. So it's not their behavior which hurts me, it is my attachment to the image, and because that image did not get created in reality. Let's say I say, you should, simple thing, you should come and say good morning to me first thing in the morning. Simple thing, like parent, child should come and say good morning. Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law should come and touch my feet, say good morning. Now we can very easily go into the comfort zone and say, but that is how it should be. Society is like this. Yes, understandable, but yet each one has a choice. But I have created this image. She should come every morning, touch my feet, and say good morning. She should tell me where she plans to go today. What is she? And she not only tell me, she should actually ask me because I'm elder to her. So many images.
Are you
so many
informing
images.
me?
Or are you
asking
me?
Or taking permission from me?
Images. Now I create all these images of how they should be and create them here. I'm already attached that this is how it should be. And what happens in reality is not always that. And sometimes it can be totally different. And when what I want, what I've already conceived here, does not get created in reality, I get hurt. That's the simplest reason why we get hurt. So if we really want to go down deeper, gradually, let's practice getting detached from these images, and gradually let's stop creating images about how things and people should be. Then we will be able to accept them as they are. My daughter-in-law comes and wishes me in the morning. How sweet of her. And today, if she doesn't feel like wishing me, it's okay. I will wish her. Take a decision immediately at that moment, in that situation, how to make everything comfortable. First here and here. Rather than, I expect she should come and do it. And now because she has not, I am hurt. And this is applicable to such a small thing to, of course, all the big things. The equation remains the same. So let's let go of these attachments, these images we create inside. It's just
When
a
I
little
was
practice.
sick and I was not well, I made a list of how many people came to inquire, how many people did not come. I see books outside the hospitals. They're not allowed to go to inside ICU. I feel that I should not go and disturb a person who's already sick. Or maybe I'm carrying so many, different kind of bacteria or infection myself. But I will go to the hospital, write there, dear so-and-so, time, date, I'd come, see. Oof, so many things.
And why do you do that? Because you know that that is the image the other person must have created. Yeah. And because he's created that image, if you don't do it,
He
they
will
will
be
get
hurt.
hurt. Because we all know each other very well, because other people also create the images like I create my images. So we see people through that filter. Like you said this, I just remembered, when I'm not well, I really don't want anyone to come and see me. One, because I feel it's too much of a trouble in a city like Delhi for people to drive down for an hour and, leave their work and come. And I say it very clearly to them. I said, I'm fine, and anyways, how much time it's going to take to heal will heal, and I really thank you for your good wishes. Please don't take the trouble of coming all the way. And they will say, no, because inside it's so deep ingrained that she's saying it, but actually she will not like it if we don't go. Why? Because they wouldn't like it if somebody didn't come to see them. It's so deep ingrained because we will also see the other person through our belief systems. So if I feel people should come to see me when I'm not well, then I also feel people would expect me to come to see them when they're not well. And even if they tell me no, I'll say no. Like you were sharing the other day that during weddings, sometimes they write today, no gifts, just blessings.
That was very nice.
Yes.
They're only blessings only.
Only blessings. Now some people will write that just for the sake of writing that. Yeah, there are weddings where it's written in the card, but yet people are bringing gifts and gifts are being accepted. But that line is being written now because many people are writing. Now, if that is my belief system, that I will write this, only blessings, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't bring a gift. I mean, it's obvious you're coming for the wedding, so you'll bring a gift. That is my belief system. And then I come to a wedding at your place and you have written in your card, only blessings. I will say, no, 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 they've just written it. Obviously, we have to take a gift. I cannot see you, the personality. I see you, the personality, through my perception. And what I think, I assume the other person thinks the same. And when the other person in reality just doesn't think the same, it's very difficult to believe. How can they be like this? Because I just can't see them. I just can't see them because I don't have that lens. I have the lens only of my sanskar. And then I say, I just can't understand you. Obviously, we cannot understand other people because we're not seeing them. We're not getting to know them. We only know them through our filter. And that's why one personality, different people think differently about you. Absolutely. If it's one person, then everyone should feel the same about that one person. But everyone will feel differently because it's not about you. It's more about how they perceive you. And that perception is based on their sanskars. Once I understand this equation, I give people the liberty to say what they want to me and about me. Because what they're saying is not necessarily the truth.
When I was practicing on the practice range, of course, I was fed up of my shots because once I tried, and I was so angry with myself that all my muscles became stiff, and the stiffer you become, and the hard, and you keep on making more mistakes, and then I threw my club, and I just said, "What a complicated game!"
Acha.
And the little boy behind me, he was practicing there. He says, "Uncle, my father says golf is a simple game played by complicated people."
How sweet. See, the whole
And I
message
was
is
calling the game complicated.
complicated. Today, don't we call life complicated?
That's what I meant.
Don't we call other people complicated? It's because we are complicated here. So through the lens of complication, everything and everyone will appear to be complicated. Let me just clean my lens and make it and get all those qualities which I want to see in the world. You know, we hear this line very often, become what you want to see in other people. And which means whatever you want in them, just create it here, because then that will become your lens. And through that lens, you will see everybody through that perception.
Become what you want to see in the others. Wow.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
absolutely.
Actually, if I see my past, I was never the person I wanted other people to be.
That's most important. So create that lens. Everyone, you will see them
The
through
way
that
I
lens.
used to speak to people, I never wanted them to speak to me like that.
Yes. And that's why spirituality says, give what you want. Give what you want.
Means?
You want people to speak nicely to you?
Okay.
Give what you want. You want people to respect you? Respect them. Because what you give, you get. Whatever you send out, first you will feel, then you will get it in return. And what you had said earlier, which was so beautiful, that we have also hurt other people. We just need to stop and remember one of those times when somebody said that we had insulted them, we had betrayed them, we had let them down. And just check ourselves at that time. Did we really do that deliberately? Did we really want to hurt them?
No,
we
we
really-
can. It's not necessary. But cheating, yes, we can deliberately do.
At that time when we did it, from
At
our
that time,
perspective,
I thought I'm a very smart aleck, and
I thought I was being right. For whatever reasons, the reason could be they're not hardworking, so anyways it's fair for me to do this. Whatever, reasons will be different. Whenever someone is doing something, they always think it's right and they do it. And then suddenly someone over there says, you hurt me. And we just look at them and say, what did I do to hurt you? What did I say to hurt you? And then we say, you're too sensitive, you're getting hurt so easily, because we don't feel we said anything wrong. Similarly, the other people who said things to us or did things to us, they didn't say or do anything wrong deliberately. They were just speaking through their perspective. We used it to hurt ourselves. When we start looking at each other like this, it becomes easier to let go.
Lot of people do not have the art of choosing the right words. So either they get nervous, or they are having inferiority complex or a superiority complex, something. But they really, so many times, they use some wrong words, and people start fighting.
Uh,
Because apart from what you say, that first your intention goes, there are a lot of people who do not take the intention but say, ha, you use that word. And it is his sanskar to catch you like this, catch your word, twist it, make a story and say, no, you meant that, no, you meant that, no, you meant that.
that is a temporary thing that will happen. Some people can be, use different kind of words, but if their vibration is pure, it's like somebody can use rude words, let's say critical language to speak to their children. But if criticism is not internal, if internally it's very pure love, the relationship will stand on a very strong foundation. And then the most toughest words and nothing will break. And somebody could carry criticism inside, but be very sweet with words outside, then even a small word and it will break. It just depends on which foundation, and the foundation is here. Words is only a communication skill. Somebody can be very good with words and somebody not. But more important is the inner skills of each soul. That is what is going to build relationships. So we just need to focus on our intention, and even when we are interacting with people, feel their intention rather than judging them by words and actions. Let's start feeling people instead of just looking at them and listening to them. We have forgotten to feel each other because we are so much in the outer world, the stimulant world, coming through these sense organs. We just believe our senses. We have forgotten to believe that inner intuition.
We have forgotten to also give time and listen to what the other person is speaking.
True.
Feeling
Very
is,
true.
a little
A
more
little far away.
far away.
Yes,
There are good listeners. We go to people.
yes.
You find it's very difficult to find a good listener. By the time you want to say something, his mind will be somewhere else, and he'll start speaking something else to you.
Absolutely.
And I have just spoken one line, and I wanted to tell him something, one line or two lines, and by the time I finish it, it was not even registered.
So the more we silence our mind through meditation and through removing these complexities, we will be able to feel the intention of people. And when we start feeling the intention of people, our hurt will start reducing, because we will be able to understand that the intention is not this. Maybe the word used at that time was something which caused pain here. Intention is beautiful, especially in close relationships. Intentions are never negative. Parent can never have a negative intention for a child, and yet a lot of the parents' words seem to be creating hurt for the child. So let's establish the relationships based on intention, feelings, and
If
vibrations.
my intention is good, then why will my child say that I'm hurt?
Because he's taking your words and
Seriously.
using those. No, seriously, yes, but he's taking your words and using them to create hurt, because your words are not what he thought you would say.
Beyond expectations.
Beyond expectations.
Thank you very much, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.